Hey everyone, welcome back to Real and Random. I'm your host, Nick Goddard. I know that I said I would be coming out with more episodes months ago, and you know, now's the time. 2025, time to get back into it. I'm trying to drop one at least once a month now, and just need to be more consistent with this. I started it off in 2023, and I haven't really been back to it since, but let's jump into it. Name of this episode is New Year, New Me. So I wanted to ask everybody something. How many times have you heard people say, New Year, New Me? It's a phrase everyone throws around every January, but what does it actually really mean? For me, it's more about than just setting personal goals, making resolutions. It's about taking a step back, looking at who we are, and deciding who we want to become. It's about letting go of old baggage, embracing our real and our raw truths, and building a life that feels aligned with our supreme selves. This year, I want us to ditch the pressure of perfection and focus on progress. So if you're ready to dig deep, let's start this year with the intentions and let's get into it. So before we can actually embrace the new me, we need to look back at the old me, the old you. Reflecting on the past year is a powerful way to identify what is working in our lives and what is not. I have three questions that you can ask yourself. What am I proud of this year? So, what are three things that you are proud of this year from this last year? What are things that held you back? And what do you want to leave behind? So, for me, what I'm proud of this last year, I made a huge change. I moved out of state with someone and I left my old life behind and I went and did that. And even though things were really hard and really difficult, I felt like things were getting done, things were getting accomplished. And with all of the obstacles in the way, the move, it was done. It was complete. Something I've never done in my life. So I'm proud of doing that. I'm proud that I was able to withstand and go through that. What are some things that held me back? Self. I held myself back. I wasn't fully confident in some of the things I had, or some of the things I did, or some of the things I achieved myself. I was just looking at, was I happy in that moment? No, I wasn't. Was I appreciative of all the things I worked hard for in that moment? No, I wasn't. Should I have been? Yes, I should have. Because if I look back 2, 3 years ago, I would have been proud of where I was in that moment last year, but I wasn't. So that's something that held me back, and I couldn't actually appreciate and move forward with all of the hard things that I did. And what do I want to leave behind? What do I want to leave behind? Last year, I want to leave behind that negativity and doing things for others instead of doing things for myself. Seeing the positive things that I can do. Seeing how I was doing my best of what I could have done instead of listening to what others have to say and so on and so on. So that's the step one. You have to look at what you are proud of, what you can leave behind, and what you can take forward. So, a little quick story. Actually leaving a relationship behind in last year. That is something that I'm doing that is huge. That's a huge life changing moment. It's a relationship of 4 years and now I'm going to 2025 single and it is a huge change because I had to move again and there are things in this relationship that I did not appreciate at all. And there's things I learned in this relationship that weren't me, that I was changing myself. But there are things in this relationship that I'm going to take into my new relationship. I am going to take forward with me. So no matter how good or how bad a past relationship is or was, there are always things you should take from it. Positive, negative, neutral. You should never look down on them. You should never look highly of it. You should always look at it with a neutral eye and really break it down and see how you can make the next one better. You're always building it up. Life is like stairs. You have one step at a time. Okay, now I need to make the next step better so I can keep moving forward. Because if the next step isn't as strong as the step that you're on now, it's going to break. You're going to break and you're going to fall back down. Same with a ladder. Each foot on the ladder, it needs to be just as strong as in the last step that you were on. So it can hold the weight for you to continue moving up forward. So, that being said, take some time, think about those questions, maybe write it down, journal it if you can't answer it right now, but circle back to it. Figure out what those things are for you. But we're going to talk about some of your intentions now. So, here's the thing about making resolutions. They're very specific, rigid, and focused on just the outcomes. And when we don't hit those goals, we feel like we failed or we feel like it wasn't good enough. Instead of being a fan of the intentions are how you feel and how you show up this year, not just what you want to achieve. So, for example, instead of saying, I want to lose 20 pounds, your intentions might be, I want to feel strong and energized in my body. So, feeling strong and energized in your body is another way of you being able to reach that goal of losing 20 pounds. Instead of saying, I want to get promoted at my job, I want to show up confident and consistent in my work. If you show up confident and consistent in your work, you're going to get that promotion. So the intentions are flexible and they give you room to grow and adapt, which makes them more sustainable and easier to achieve. So take a moment, yet again, think about how you feel. What kind of energy do you want to bring into your life this year? All right, now we're going to tie it all together. You've reflected on the past year. You've set your intentions for the new one. So what's next? It's time you start becoming your supreme self. What do I mean by your supreme self? Your supreme self is the version of you that feels most authentic, most confident, and aligned within your personal values. It's not about being perfect. It's not about showing up every day as the best version of yourself, even when it's hard. Because in reality, how many of us show up every single day exactly the same? You don't. We all have those days where we're going to sleep extra hour, extra 10 minutes in. We have those days where we wake up 3 hours early and get the day started. So no matter if you sleep in extra or if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed or if you wake up like you're the best person in the world, you have to continue moving forward with that same mindset and the same intentions. Something that I do that I've been really slacking with, but it actually really helps. You start the day off with how you want your day to go. Meaning, if you want to wake up and start scrolling on Instagram and TikTok, Twitter, whichever it is, you're going to become consumed in whatever the first video you saw is. If you wake up and either you say a prayer or you manifest something or you just, take a moment and slow your breathing down and just be appreciative of something, it sets the tone for the entire day. So that's something that I do this morning when I walk my dog, for example, in the morning. I'll listen to some affirmations or I'll listen to those motivational videos and just listen. I don't scroll. Yes, I scroll when I first wake up, but then I'm like, you know what? I need to listen to one of those videos and, get my mind really going on the right track here. But to get there, to get to that right mindset, to get to your supreme self, you need to be consistent. You need to have self-compassion and gratitude. Like I said, consistency, small daily tasks leads to big change. How do you build a house with wood? You can't build a house, boom, it's built, like in Fortnite. No, you need small pieces of wood every single day adding to the house. Small pieces, small nails, small screws, all of those little small things help build this big, strong foundation and a big building. So every day you need to show up. The nail is, a couple inches long? Look at the type of structures it can hold up. So small changes give big outcomes and big results. Have self-compassion. You're going to mess up, and that is okay. Progress, not perfection. It is almost impossible to be perfect. And that's me speaking based off of a religious point of view. I don't think anyone is perfect, but we all can have progress, right? So, but gratitude. Celebrate your wins, big or small. Everything is a stepping stone to your supreme self. I listened to this podcast called On Purpose with Jay Shetty, and he always talked about how a win you should achieve is waking up and making your bed in the morning. To me, I was like, that's just something you should do. It's not even an achievement. But when you're going through the dirt and you're going through the ringer and you're able to just, you're able to wake up, make your bed, brush your teeth, get dressed and take a shower and you're really going through it, that's huge. That's a lot. Not a lot of people could do that. Some people don't even shower for days because they're going through it so hard. So for me, I need to be appreciative of that because for a couple weeks, it was hard for me. Well, I wasn't eating, I wasn't doing a lot, but I would wake up every day, I'd still make my bed. I would still shower. I would still brush my teeth. I would still try and go out there and do what I needed to do for me. No, I didn't want to, but I've doing those hard things right then and there, I was able to make things and make life so much easier for me right now in this moment. And it's only been like a few months. So I need to be proud of that. I need to have gratitude. But I'm going to start wrapping this up and just want to say welcome back to this first episode of 2025. And I do plan on doing this about once a month. This is the end of January, so this is a little bit of my January overview, January recap. And for February, I'm not sure what the topic is going to be just as yet, but I'm going to go with the flow for right now and see what inspires me, see what hits me, see what I'm excited to talk about. I mean, if anyone has suggestions, feel free to message me, feel free to leave something in the comments, but don't forget to reflect on everything we talked about. What am I proud of this year? What held me back? What do I want to leave behind? Also, be consistent, give self-compassion, and have gratitude. But thank you for tuning in. Keep it real, keep it random, and keep stepping into your supreme self.